Hello everybody and welcome to another video. This video is pretty cool because I'm going to be kicking off a brand new series I'm going to be doing on the channel, which is where I talk about my favourite Black Library novels spanning from all different game systems that Black Library do and why you should check them out. So, let's jump in. Yes, this is a brand new series I'm going to be launching on the channel now. This is part one, and there's going to be many more. And as I slowly go through all my favourite novels series that the Black Library do. So there is a lot of really cool stuff that Black Library have done over the years, and some of them have just been amazing. And I thought this series would be really good because it kind of something that not many people do or talk about, and it's kind of like a nice little bit of positivity in a time when we kind of need it in the community. So I thought long and hard about how to do this, which series to do first, or which book to do first, and I've probably got some real favourites. Of course, the Horus Heresy will be there at some stage, and probably my favourite books from the Horus Heresy series. It would be silly of me not to include that, but there will be some pretty cool books in coming anyway. But what I thought is, rather than me just jumping straight away with my absolute favourite novels, I will do some that are pretty much in my top 10. So, I hope you're comfortable. Hope you've got a brew. Hope you're ready. And we're going to be jumping into the first set of novels, which is the Word Bearers series by Anthony Reynolds. So, yeah, let's have a little chat about that. So, yeah, the Word Bearers series. I pretty much picked this up, and it was the first one, which was Dark Apostle, come out in 2007. And it was a novel that I kind of picked up, and I'm pretty sure it come in and around about the time that Aaron Dembski Baldwin had launched the Night Lord series. And at that point in time, we haven't had many books that kind of only really focused on Chaos Space Marines or the bad guys. And it was kind of really unique. So the series kicks off with the first book, which is known as Dark Apostle. And obviously this introduces us to some of our main characters. Now, one of our main characters is Marduk. He is a acolyte for the Word Bearers. He's kind of like a chaplain in training for a legion of essentially religious zealots, and a lot led by chaplains. So he's kind of one in training, and his sort of Dark Apostle is a very powerful individual by the name of Jarlek, who is pretty much the sort of spiritual war leader of the host, and he has a sort of second in command, a sort of right-hand man, who is a Chaos Lord by the name of Karl Bador, who is basically the Corpheus, who is essentially the war leader of the host. And it's kind of a really interesting book because it kind of shows you the politics and the intrigue and the sort of backstabbing that is amongst the Legion. And it's really cool to see that even though they are a traitor Legion, and this is set during 40k, that they still essentially operate as a Legion. They have still have a relatively solid structure, and as you progress through the series, you even sort of delve in deeper into it, to a point where a very infamous character from the Horus Heresy by the name of Erebus turns up as well, who is an absolute dickhead at the best of times. But it's really cool because we get to see that character, which is so cool. But yes, so the first book, and I'll read you the little story blurb. It's the story for the first book is obviously book one, the Dark Apostle, and it's driven on by dark visions. Dark Apostle Jarlek of the Word Bearers Chaos Space Marine Legion and his forces lay waste to the imperial planet of Tankreek. After brutally enslaving the population, they set them to work building a monstrous tower. But what is the Word Bearers' vile purpose? And can they achieve it before the Imperial forces arrive to reclaim the planet? And that's basically the sum of the story. The story is really, really good. And again, like I said, it kind of highlights Chaos Space Marines in a way that you don't normally see them, because this is a literal Chaos Space Marine centric novel. Um, and you've got everything from Imperial Guard, Adaptus Titanicus, or sorry, yes, even Titans, to even the AdMech as well, and all of that good stuff. Fighting. And one of the things that I really, really love is one of my favorite characters out of the whole book, apart from Colbador, is Boreas, the possessed Space Marine icon bearer. The way that Anthony Reynolds describes how the possessed Marines work, and how they sort of phase in and out of their normal Marine look to their to their demon look. Kind of like the sort of way that I kind of get it is like if you've watched the film Venom, with how Tom Hardy changes into Venom. It kind of sort of they sort of mutate into it, and it's really, really cool to sort of see a description of that, because up until that point we hadn't never really had that kind of description of how possessed worked, and it's really interesting. Another thing that's really, really cool as well is the elite of the Legion, the first company, the Terminator elite, or as they're known in this book, the Anointed. This book sort of spawned a lot of really cool looking word bearer armies back in the day. There was a really amazing one that was on Warseer a lot. I can't remember who did it by his handle, but he'd used a lot of parts from the old Dark Angel upgrade kit with the robes and the hoods and stuff, and he'd like taken the helmet out but just kept the hood and then painted it all dark inside, and even those heads he'd used on the Terminators as well, and it was really, really cool to sort of see. I can imagine that if you could get like even the Dark Angel parts today and mixing them with the new plastic Terminators for the Chaos Space Marines, you could probably do sort of a similar type of thing. It was a really, really cool, idea, and the army looked amazing, and it was heavily inspired by the Word Bearer series. But that is obviously book one. There are 3 books in the series, and there's a number of short stories and another couple of books as well. The short stories are Vox Dominus. It kind of concludes the series. So if you've read the trilogy, Dark Apostle, Dark Disciple, and then Dark Creed, you've got then Vox Dominus, which is the short story, and it is in the Treacheries of the Space Marines anthology. I believe if you get the omnibus, the actual all 3 of them together, the 2 short stories are a part of that omnibus, which is really, really cool. But Dark Disciple is the second book, and it basically really sort of cements Marduk as the main character of the series. So the story for this one is the ever driven by the lust of power, Marduk, aspiring dark apostle of the Wordbearer's Chaos Space Marine Legion, strives to unlock the secrets of an ancient and deadly artifact. This quest throws him and the Wordbearers into a deadly war zone and a desperate battle between the Imperial forces and alien Tyranids, and a third faction, as sadistic and as it is mysterious. Surrounded by foes, this could be Marduk's sternest test yet. Really, really cool. I remember reading this one and really, really liking it. There's a lot of really going on in it, and there's some really cool, epic sort of battle scenes in this book. So yeah, highly, highly, highly recommend. In fact, I highly recommend the entire series. But the for me, the third book was really, really good, and that's Dark Creed. So the little synopsis for this one is: the Dark Apostle Marduk faces challenges from within his own legion as he wages war with the White Consul's Space Marine chapter. Harnessing the power of the Nexus arrangement, a powerful Necron device, Marduk can turn the tide of the Wordbearer's favour. But just as the White Consuls are on the verge of defeat, an old enemy returns to throw the entire Dark Crusade into ruin. If Marduk is to survive and fulfill his ambition, he must defy an onslaught from the Necrons, the White Consuls, and his own legion. So, yep, really epic conclusion. So I would highly recommend these books. If you're a Chaos Space Marine fan and you have not read these, you really should. If you want a little bit of 40k novels that is not loyalist centric winning all the time, then you should definitely read these. I would definitely put it on par with Aaron Dinsky Baldwin's Night Lords trilogy, which I will be covering in a later video because that one is in my top 5 of books by far. It is also on par with Storm of Iron, which I also will be covering. These books are really, really good, so definitely should check these out. There's some really cool moments, there's some really funny moments, there's some really brutal moments, and there's some really interesting parts where it shows you the process of being corrupted by chaos onto a normal average person as well, which is always really kind of cool. And they were written during a time when we didn't see very much in the sense of books based on the Traitor Legions and from their perspective. And it's kind of interesting and a little bit unusual to sort of get the bad guys winning, which is always good. So yeah, definitely check this one out. So that's part 1 of my The Best of the Black Library series. Hey, hopefully you've enjoyed it and you'll go out and check out the books for yourself. If you have watched them, read them, or even listened to them on Audible, you should definitely leave me a comment below and let me know what you think of them. And if you like the series, you should subscribe to the channel. You should like, share, and comment and do all that jazz. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy this type of content, and I'll do a lot more of it. I don't really want to go too much into detail on each of the books because obviously, don't want to give away spoilers. But yeah, you should definitely check these out, and I will catch you in the next video. Goodbye for now.